Nikam Dohadeva and everyone. Wonderful to be with you during Pancha Ganapati. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay, we will share the screen. And we are December 25th in Asia. Our first topic is continuing Satkarma, Bhakti and Jnanam. The talk to be given at Kailas Ashram, Bengaluru on January 8th, 2023. And this is part 2 of 3. Individuals who have good self-control over the tendencies to become angry, to harm others, to achieve material gain in a dishonest way, naturally manifest a greater concern for other people. This brings one into the next level of practice, which is Satkarma, also called punyakarma, meaning actions that yield merit. Swami Harshananda's A Concise Encyclopedia of Hinduism gives a simple definition of punyakarma: that which causes happiness to others, reducing their problems and difficulties. A common form of Satkarma is charity, making donations to Hindu temples and ashrams, as well as secular NGO activity. As we know, modern society is materialistic in its orientation. Hindu youth are growing up with a strong motivation to achieve wealth through their employment. This materialistic tendency needs to be balanced out by helping others through being charitable. As I jokingly say in my talks in the US, 2 Mercedes is enough, meaning we want to be surrounded by quality possessions, but at some point, adding more possessions would definitely be being self-indulgent. Second form of Satkarma is selfless service. Selfless service, also called seva, is traditionally done at a temple or ashram. One example is helping with the many tasks involved in preparing for a major festival. In many of our modern cities, this traditional approach does not always work, as travel from home to a temple or ashram takes a long time and therefore cannot be done on a regular basis. With this in mind, I developed a list of 6 simple practices for our contemporary world that can be done to help others wherever you are, at home, work, school, in the neighborhood, and community. How many of the 6 practices can you remember? Give you another minute on this one. Seeing God in those we greet is the first opportunity to help others. When greeting someone, we strive to look deeply enough into them to see God, to see them as a divine being evolving through experience into oneness with God. Our attitude is unnaturally helpful and benevolent. Volunteering is the second opportunity to help others. There are many opportunities each day to step forward and offer to help in ways that are beyond what is required of us. An attitude of humble service diminishes the ego and strengthens our spiritual identity. One important spiritual attitude to hold is to be willing to help when called upon, to not resist or refuse, to be as open to helping others as you are and doing things for yourself. Expressing appreciation is the third opportunity to help others. We can uplift and encourage others by sincerely expressing how grateful we are for their help, friendship, and importance in our life. Reaching out to newcomers is the fourth opportunity to help others. In our modern world, people move around a great deal. Thus, there is a steady flow of newcomers at work, at school, in our neighborhood, and at our temple. Stepping forward to welcome and help orient them to their new environment is an excellent way to be of service. Offering hospitality is the fifth opportunity to help others. Everyone can find creative ways to be hospitable in the home, at school, and even at work. Making encouraging and complimentary remarks is the sixth opportunity to help others. Make a point to say something encouraging and complimentary to everyone you meet. Their day will be brighter because of it, and so will yours. Moving on to the second concept of the talk, which is bhakti. As we all know, bhakti means devotion or love of God and is the next level of practice. It is the basis for the third line of Tirumandram, verse 1444. Giving life by invocation is external worship. Invocation refers to inviting the deity to be present in the murti or the home of fire, which in Sanskrit is called avahana. The temple is where we worship and commune with God and the gods. Here, devotees are uplifted and receive the inner help they need to live a positive, fulfilling life. Temples are sacred for three reasons. And what are the three reasons? They are constructed in a mystical manner. They are consecrated with special complex rites, and thereafter continuous daily worship builds a holy force field. So construction, consecration, and continuous daily worship. Our grand temples are like no other place on earth. Some are more than 1,000 years old. Strict rules from the agamas are followed to create such holy spaces where in holiness God can reside. It's a great picture. Devas, gods, and people work together to establish the temple and ensure it will be used only for worship. Over the years, a power becomes strong, forming an invisible glass-like bubble or shield around the temple. This keeps out gross vibrations and allows the heaven worlds to be strongly present. As you approach God's home, you can feel the spiritual energy, and as you go inside, you are engulfed in peace. Here, the devas and gods can easily hear your prayers. Here, the ancient scriptures are chanted, the traditional rites knowingly performed. Here, joyous festivals are celebrated and arduous pilgrimages concluded. The high point of puja, as bells ring loudly and conches blow, the deity sends rays of blessings through the enshrined image or murti. Flooding your aura, this energy can erase worries, clear confusion, and relieve sadness. Devotees leaving the temple feel inspired and lightened of burdens. Gurudeva explained that the stone or metal images are not mere symbols of the gods. The image is the physical plane form through which the gods' love, power, and blessings flood forth into this world. The image is like a temporary physical body that God uses during temple ceremonies. The temple, God's home, becomes a truly sacred place for us when we know that the gods are real beings, and the purpose of going to the temple is to experience their blessings. I developed a list of 10 practical suggestions to help devotees obtain maximum blessings from visits to the temple. To best feel and be benefited by the Shakti of the deity. There's not enough time to include the entire list in this talk, so I will just mention one of the suggestions. It's a very important one. Fourth suggestion: Bring an offering. Ideally, bring a garland or even a single flower or fresh fruit for each shrine at which you are going to worship. And the question for you, why do we bring an offering? Answer. Each act of giving opens you to the blessings of the deity. When we give first, we increase our receptivity. Therefore, never visit the temple empty-handed. Offerings relate to an aspect of puja and homa that is not often presented, which is how it relates to the flow of prana, life energy. Except for the times arati is performed, puja is a process of giving prana to the deity. This is done through the priests presenting the devotees offerings of cut fruit, cooked food, water, fragrant flowers, and milk. Then, during the arati, the deity and his helpers or devas reflect back this prana into the aura of each devotee, purifying it of subconscious congestions. The devotee so blessed leaves the temple feeling uplifted and relieved of mental conditions he had been burdened by. Jayendra Puri Mahaswamiji of Kailasashram in Bengaluru recently visited us. His three priests performed an elaborate home in Kadable temple with extra offerings of grains and woods. Afterwards, he explained that Agni takes the offerings to the deity in a purified form for the deity to use in blessing those present. It's a very precise statement which reflects Gurudeva's teachings and teachings of the Agamas. Purified form goes to the deity, and that helps the deity's blessings be stronger. Second topic, questions to satsang@hindu.org. Got some new questions in. Is there a sadhana / practice we can do to stop the mind from ruminating, following a situation which is very intellectually or emotionally stimulating, going over and over the same thing, rumination? Walking and other forms of exercise are excellent for stopping or at least slowing down the mind's ruminations. So doing something physical and thinking about it, not letting the mind ruminate, but actually focusing on the physical body and how you're moving it. For slowing the emotional stimulation, hatha yoga and meditation are effective. Sometimes the rumination can be caused by thinking you should have done something differently, or wondering what you could have done to make the outcome a different one. In that case, you need to figure out the answer to your concern before your ruminations will slow down. During meditation, if we perceive a vision of a Mahadeva or a spiritual teacher, how do we know it is real? Some people say that such visions are a product of lower psychism, wishful thinking, or a hyperactive imagination. Can perceiving the energy experienced be a gauge? So that last one is correct. You are correct that the energy is different in that it is a stronger spiritual energy which may manifest as a feeling of being super inspired. Another sign is that you don't forget it as you would experiences that weren't a true vision. Gurudeva says the memory of it actually becomes stronger over time. That's a good gauge. How can we be more rooted in higher states of consciousness without being influenced by others in lower states? If someone has a messy situation going on within themselves, how can we not be influenced by them and stay at a mountaintop consciousness instead of being pulled to an alleyway consciousness? So that's a vast subject. It depends on the relationship to the person, such as is the person your parent, sibling, spouse, roommate, co-worker? and if you are living in the same house or not. So all of those are factors in what would fine tune the answer. But a generalized answer for all situations is taking time to uplift yourself every morning is the most important practice. If you don't do that, it's easy to get weighed down during the day. Second is keeping the aura strong, as Gurudev explains in Merging with Shiva. So he gives different techniques for flooding colors in the aura, for putting prana in the aura, for spinning the aura. All of that's in Merging with Shiva and can be very helpful in achieving the goal of not getting brought down in consciousness by people who are definitely going through things in a lower consciousness. Our third topic, as usual, character. Punctuality is the 46th character quality of our character building workbook. How would you define punctuality? Pretty simple. I jokingly say punctuality is the least appreciated character quality. Why is that? Because no one else is there on time to know that you were on time. So nobody knows you're punctual. Our workbook gives this definition. Punctuality means being prompt and keeping to schedules. I strengthen it by arriving on time, completing my duties without delay, and not lagging behind or procrastinating. The opposite is tardiness. Gurudeva's quotes. Once the Satguru is asked for penance, the penance must be performed exactly according to his instructions. It should be done with full energy and without delay. Deliberate delay or refusal to perform the penance shows the devotee has rejected the assistance of the Satguru. And the next quote, to resolve a conflict between husband and wife, lest it affect the lives of the children by being postponed into forgetfulness, it must be done before sleep. There is no other way. So simply dropping a major disagreement before it's resolved is not the thing to do. Comparing the actions of one who is punctual to one who is tardy. Situation when your uncle makes an appointment to show you his new art collection. You, punctuality, arrive on time, waiting to honor the fact that he has made himself available to you. Tardiness, reaches home 10 minutes late, showing no consciousness that this is disrespectful. Second situation, asked by your supervisor to meet a work-related deadline. You, punctuality. Plan for the normal unexpected delays and finish 2 days early to assure you will meet expectations. Tardiness, wait until late in the week and then a sudden family emergency makes you miss the deadline. Third situation, friends meet weekly to play basketball and you, punctuality, arrive early to show them that you value this teamwork. Tardiness, intentionally arrive 5 minutes late so you won't have to wait for others. Reflection. Take a moment to identify a few ways in which you could improve in punctuality. And the assignment. During these 2 weeks, make a practice of showing up for appointments and events a few minutes early to be sure you aren't late. Oh, thank you very much. Oh.